Hi, it's Alexis Hasselberger, time management and productivity coach. Now, have you ever tried to talk yourself out of thinking about something, right? And found that it doesn't quite work that well? Let me give you an example of this. Let's a little test that we can just try right now. It'll only take 15 seconds, I promise. Okay. I want you to maybe even just close your eyes for just a couple of seconds, okay? Now, I want you to tell yourself not to think about a purple gorilla. Okay, just tell yourself not to think about that. And then keep your eyes closed for 10 seconds. I'll wait. And then we're going to come back. Okay. All right. Now open your eyes and tell me, did you think about a purple gorilla or were you successful and not thinking about it? I am going to guess that not only were you not successful and not thinking about purple gorilla, but it's actually the only thing you could think about, right? And this is not your fault. This is not a test you could win. This is just how human brains work, right? We are not very good at specific omission or negation. And this can be difficult because we often engage in some self talk and some behaviors that don't serve us very well. And by telling ourselves not to do that thing, it actually kind of just reinforces that thing, right? Instead of telling ourselves not to and we just don't think about it, we tell ourselves not to and then we think about it more, right? So, what can we do when we find ourselves perhaps engaging in some negative or critical self talk that is not going to help us and we're trying to get ourselves to stop, but we can't figure it out, right? We cannot figure out how to make it stop because we keep fixating on these things. So I want to give you some actual language that you can use because if we can't just stop ourselves by thinking about something or saying something by thinking about it, we can sometimes do this with replacement, right? We can't just stop ourselves from thinking about it, but if we can reframe it and replace it slowly, we can train our brain to have different thoughts when these things come up, right? So I want to give you some language that you can use, that you can try. So if you ever say to yourself, like, God, why did I mess that up again? Could you, after you say that, reframe it and say back to yourself, actually, what could I do differently next time to make this better? Right? What could I do differently next time? We can only move forward. Instead of saying to yourself, like, oh, I'll never get the hang of this, right? I'm trying, and it's just like not happening. I'll never get the hang of this. What if you could say to yourself, after that, right? We're not going to stop you from saying that, but after you've said that, well, what if I just need a little more practice and then I will figure it out? If I keep practicing, I probably will figure this out. Or if you find yourself saying something like, God, what the F is wrong with me, right? What is wrong with me? After you say that to yourself, could you regroup a little bit, reframe, and say, what did I do right in this situation, even if things turned out badly? Because I'm pretty sure I didn't just do it all wrong, right? Or if you sometimes say to yourself, like, God, you idiot, right? I know a lot of people say something like that, right? If you say you idiot all the time to yourself, you could, after you say that, then reframe it to yourself and say, you know what? There will be another opportunity for me to get this right. Right. So we're not saying, hey, stop thinking those thoughts because that's not going to work. But what we are saying is when you have those thoughts, what if you can just take a beat and then reframe that into something that is more positive? And if you do this, the more you practice this, what you will find is that your brain starts to shift into that thinking faster, right? It maybe even stops saying the negative thing first as you go along. And this can really help us because studies show that self compassion actually improves our results in whatever we're doing. We are better with self-compassion than we are when we berate ourselves. Now, often we think, we've got to be really hard on ourselves because otherwise, how will we have the motivation to do the thing that we want to do? Turns out science tells us that that is not how it works, right? Self-compassion actually helps you to get the results that you want better and faster. And it just feels a lot better, right? So when you think about what you might say to yourself, maybe it's not these things that I mentioned, maybe it's something totally different. I want you to think about what's a phrase that you could say after, right? What's a phrase that you could say to turn that around so that you have more self-compassion and therefore can get you what you want a little bit faster, maybe a little bit more easily. Now, I don't know about you, right? But I don't like to spend time with people who are mean to me. And therefore, I don't want to be mean to myself. If you think about this another way, if you have kids, do you get better compliance from your kids when you give them positive reinforcement or when you are nagging them, telling them they did something wrong, yelling at them, et cetera? And don't worry, we've all been there before. I'm guessing it's the former, right? Or what about your dog, right? Do you get better results when you are providing positive reinforcement or when you are like shoving their nose in the poop or whatever it is, right? I'm willing to bet that it is the positive and reinforcement that's doing better. And so why is this any different for ourselves? It's not, right? We can learn to treat ourselves nicely. We can learn to treat ourselves better. Is it easy? No, right? Is it worth a try? Yes, absolutely. Because anything that we can do to be more compassionate to ourselves, not only are we going to feel better in general, but also we are going to be able to improve at whatever the thing we were berating ourselves at even better, even faster. So let me know in the comments if you have phrases you say to yourself, if there's something you've been able to turn around, I want to hear it. Or if you're just inspired to start doing this now, let me know as well. And if you want to keep getting content just like that in your feed, then make sure to subscribe.
Just like she said, if you like content like this, make sure to subscribe because only about 23% of the people that watch us are subscribed. Thank you.